Hi everybody, this is Lyubaka. Today I want to talk about some fishing lures. And hi, this is Lyubaka. Today we're going to talk about some fishing lures. What I want to show you is a few interesting things. One little adjustment to make any fish shot be light off. I apologize. So let's go back to what I was talking about. Today we're going to talk fishing lures, and what I have is a bag of goodies that my good friend Jim gave me. All of these came from the Wisconsin River, and he wants me to auction them off on eBay for him. But before I do that, I want to help everybody get first peek at what's available. So on the Wisconsin River, some of the most popular patterns would be minnow types of baits. This one right here is a Husky Jerk. That particular one is a size 14 gold. So this lure, traditionally most anglers who use it are targeting big walleye. That's what's the main target for it. The most popular pattern on the Wisconsin River would be Fire Tiger. The water is dark, stained, a lot of tannic acid makes it kind of reddish, and it's very hard to see. So those bright patterns and colors are very effective. This is what we use for the most part, especially when we want to attract sluggish fish. Now, there is a distinction between perch patterns and fire tiger patterns, and this particular one is so this particular one is the original floater. This one is a size 11. Again, very popular for walleye. We'll have a really nice lineup of lures. The guy gave me 56 of them. What he does is he basically fishes only with jigs and twisters. So that's why he doesn't really get any use for the crankbaits. I'm not sure why you cannot see the screen very well. Anyways, that is the size 11. Now this one is a bomber. You can see it's being bitten quite a bit. It has the weight distribution system, so that one would be a very good bait again. Very good long casts. There is a nice one. It's the original Floating Rapala in size 18. This particular color is pretty rare, if I'm not mistaken. That one, yeah, this one is Rapala Ireland. I don't know how visible that is. That color is hard to find, especially in the big size. Definitely a good lure for trophy walleye. Not the most common one you'll get. Next in line, again, as I mentioned, Fire Tiger, Fire Tiger. One on the top, jointed, size 11, Fire Tiger Rapala. On the bottom, Husky Jerks, Fire Tiger. This particular one is a size 12. So, in case you're tuning in right now, I'm discussing lures you can find. All of these came from the Wisconsin River. People that weren't that lucky actually lost them. And when you go out treasure hunting, usually your bucket looks something like that. So There's a bunch of lures. Big and small. Looks ugly in the beginning, but you can cash in on it quite good. Let's keep going. Rebel Minnow. Once again, Fire Tiger pattern, and that's made by Protco. Rapala Husky Jerk. This one is the silver blue edition with the orange belly. This one's very popular too. I'll try to get them a little bit organized by type, by 200 some, and I'll go from there later. So, Husky Jerk and Rebel Minnow. Now, using these baits, usually it helps us find out what the local hot bait is. This one is a bleeding pattern, the original floater made of balsa by Rapala. So that's the size 11. This particular one, if I'm not mistaken, is the bleeding olive flash. One more Rebel Minnow. Most of them in perfect condition. There is a Husky Jerk that's seen a lot of bites. Look at the teeth mark, look how taken out the eyes are. That particular one is a size 12. I love the suspending action of the Husky Jerk. They really help. It's a very good idea to use them. There's another Husky Jerk in clown pattern. The reason why I call this broadcast Wisconsin River cherry picking is because actually my viewers get to take their picks before I actually auction these off on eBay. So this one is the clown, and this one is the silver plated clown. If I'm not mistaken, this one is again Rapala Ireland. That one is a Rapala Finland, silver black, and as we know, Rapala is no longer made in Finland. This is the original balsa lures, like Mr. Glory Rapala meant to be. And there is another original island color. This is the pre-US Fire Tiger pattern. Let's see from both directions. Beautiful crankbait. Closer. So far we've discovered that Husky Jerks are some of the most popular ones, and then Fire Tiger is really the winner out here. This one, pretty big lure. It's a Matzuo saltwater crankbait, redhead. These are traditionally made for snook, stripers, also particularly good for trolling for tarpon. The saltwater hooks on these are great. Now on the Wisconsin River, a heavy bait like that is great for muskies, also for trophy-sized walleye as bycatch, because that's actually pretty common. When somebody's casting for a walleye, you never know what's gonna come next. There's greetings from our ferret Lucky, who wants to be involved in the broadcast as well. Can't blame him. Everybody wants to be popular these days. So we keep going. So far we have Husky Jerks, Rebels, original floaters. I will set these aside with little piles arranged. Again, feel free to comment on these. Let me know what you'd like I'll take any offers, anything that's reasonable. I will invoice you through PayPal. Just we'll talk about it later. As soon as you feel that there's certain lures you're interested in, just let me know. Right? Uh, as you know, cherry picking, I already took my cherry picks. I took a couple of beautiful Lucky Craft crankbaits that are about 25 bucks a piece new. So I was lucky enough to have my first cherry pick for those. There is a nice Magnum Rapala. This one again, the traditional salt water, no flash on the back hook. This one looks to be about a size 14. This will make a great musky bait edition, and again a trophy size walleye, which is perfect for the fall conditions like right now when you're putting that feeding bag on and you really got a chance to catch your trophy. With the slot size limit, you'll catch a lot of slot size fish on this size lure, and also hopefully you catch something above slot, above 20 inches. So interesting bait to catch. Then another husky jerk. This one is a clown pattern, the glass husky jerk, and this particular one is a size 12. So I set it down here with the husky jerks. There is a size 14 husky jerk. That's a nice big lure. Now, the good thing about the old school husky jerks, they do suspend, unlike the new ones that float, and you're losing quite a bit of the idea of a suspending bait, which actually is the most effective one. More husky jerks. Again, size 14. These have the weight transfer system. Those suspend, unlike the ones that are made now that float. There is a Rebel Minnow, silver blueback. The traditional Rebel Minnow is a great lure, very effective, not only for walleye, specifically good for pike. It is a floating lure, and if you use it as a twitch bait, you can basically just zoom it in, stop it, zoom, stop. It's a good retrieve. Helps really hone in on those fish that are just sitting there ambushing their prey. That turret really wants to go out in the 20 degree weather. And yes, you guessed it. When you look at the eyes on this one, you already know that is a Smithwick Rogue. Now the Smithwick Rogue Lures, year after year, they're voted in the top lures for catching walleye. They're very good for catching pike as well. This specific one is a floater, so again, saves you on the snagging. Obviously not the previous owner of this one, because they obviously lost it. So it's up for grabs. Let me know what you want to spend for it, and we'll discuss it later. There is a pretty well used husky jerk. This one is a size 12. The traditional silver blue, very effective pattern, together with the Tennessee shad. Those two are very popular patterns for this stretch of river, so you might be interested in that. Got more husky jerks. This is the new ones that I mentioned that don't really perform traditionally well as the old school Rapalas. This is all plastic. For the most part, these are made in Estonia versus the original ones from Finland and Ireland. Up for grabs. One more husky jerk. This one is the glass pattern and the clown. So I have those available. Size 14 I would go to when I see that the fish are bigger. That's really where you want to be shooting for those big ones. Now there is a nice lure that you don't see very often. This is a Bagley. Now that's a floater, the minnow pattern, very good for suspended fish, especially for the ones that are are just sitting behind ledges or around rock piles. So when you twitch that around, you want to kind of give it a jerk and stop, retrieve, jerk and stop, retrieve. You'll get the hit on the stop. That would be another floater, and that would be why we found it downstream when the water came down. Now, the good thing about treasure hunting on the Wisconsin River, you don't need a lot of preparation for it. For the most part, all you need is be there on the right time. Usually, it's a good idea to follow the charts for the water flow. And when you see that from a very high water level, the water is dropping, it's a good time to be there. When the water's high, all the weekend warriors are out there pounding that water with their crankbaits. When the water's high, they'll get snagged in areas that usually they wouldn't. And when the water's high, they cannot retrieve those lures. So later on, when the water drops, if you get there and for everybody else, you got a pretty good chance to fill up your bucket with goodies. Another nice suspending bait. Traditional spots on the sides, those imitate shad, which is basically the forage fish these days for walleye. When they do put the feeding bag on, and when they see that little spot, it's like a target for practice for them, so they'll shoot for it. So that's a good one to consider. Next in line, a bomber long A. Now, bomber are known to be endorsed by our good old buddy Mr. Bill Dance, who is a great hero of the old times. Unfortunately, they're beating a dead horse with this guy when they put him on those fishing shows, and he's basically crapping himself. Not the best idea, but I guess they want to make money. They should just let the guy be. But he's a cash cow for a lot of companies. Bomber is one of them. And the long A, this lure has performed very well in bass tournaments. It's a great minnow bait when you're targeting walleye and pike. So you want another bomber. I have a size 10 silver black husky jerk. Now these are probably the most popular size we use, and the good thing about them, you catch anything from a 10-inch walleye to a 30-incher, and they're very non-discriminatory lure. Very nice suspending action. The rattles very attractive for the walleye, and they're good to use close to current breaks. You basically cast in the current, let it drift to the quiet water, and then switch it and stop, switch and stop. A good idea is to keep your rod put up, so this way you can basically control where it goes. And then when you get the hit, make a couple of turns of that handle while you're bringing the rod put down, and then set the hook. So traditionally, you want to let them really take it before you set it. So that's a very nice husky jerk in the size 10. Another size 10 husky jerk, as I mentioned, those are very popular. This one is the Tennessee shad, and is very good for this stretch of river here in Wisconsin Dells. Also, Prairie Sac up in Castle Rock and Lake Wisconsin. So do consider size 10 husky jerks always perform very well. There we go, X-Wrap. So as we know, the X-Wrap has been very popular with people who like the jerking action, and little flash is what gives it the added attraction. And basically what happens is when you zoom in and stops, that flash kind of slowly drops, and then you get the kick. Very good lure for smallmouth bass, excellent lure for walleye as well. So I have a nice X-Wrap here for your consideration, let you know what to think. So let's deal with that Smithwick's original floater, silver blue. Now the silver blue pattern, again, anything that has that blue on the top and the silver on the bottom reminds us of shiners, different kinds of shiners, and whenever you have shallow water, that's a good lure to use because it floats very well and it has a very tight wiggle. It imitates the wounded minnow, the traditional for Rapala, their signature. So it is no wonder it's the original most sold lure. Another silver blue size 12 husky jerk. and that bag is full of goodies. So whenever you wanna pause, rewind back, and try to locate certain lures that you like more and you want to group them, just let me know in your message whenever you decide to contact. Beautiful gold fluorescent red jointed Rapala in size 11. Now these are made of balsa. This particular one is a, let me see better, it's a Rapala Finland. So that's one of the discontinued patterns. This is specifically a great killer at night. The pattern is very bright for the dark stained water of the Wisconsin River and any dark water river. This is a great lure to use at night in shallow waters, especially for spawning walleyes. This killer. So that's a great one to consider. I'll put it on the little pile of the jointed baits. Size 12, Husky Jerk, another one of those mid-size range, going towards the bigger fish. Great jerking motion, stop and retrieve, and another rebel minnow. What this tells us is there are certain patterns that are very popular on the river, and when you find these lures, you know what's working, because if people are casting them, they don't just cast them to leave them on the bottom, they be catching fish on them, especially these that have so many teeth marks on them, like this guy right here, size 14 Husky Jerk in the silver blue, orange belly. Orange has been a very productive color. Any shade of orange attracts additionally. It has been deemed to mimic the perch pattern in a way for those dark colors, and also the crawfish patterns. The discontinued crawfish Husky Jerk that Rapala no longer makes was one of the most effective lures in this stretch of the river, especially on sandy bottom. It stands out great against the sand, and it triggers very erratic hits, very aggressive. One more rebel minnow. So far I'm looking at four of them of this. So that's a nice little bundle there if somebody wants to make them in the same lot. A Husky Jerk, size 14 Fire Tiger. One more for this collection. Thank you, honey. There is a size 12 Husky Jerk. Again, if you're looking for the suspending action, if you're looking for those aggressive hits in colder water, that's a great lure. I've seen some people who like to throw using these, using a bottom bouncer. That's a great way to use them. Otherwise, they won't go that deep. They don't have that same action when they get retrieved just with the throwing speeds. So you might want to add that weight and have the bottom bouncer, obviously, so you don't lose the lure. Otherwise, it's going to end up in my bucket. Oh, there's a beautiful lure. So this one, when you look at the body, it has that elongated tail that allows it to that wide wiggle, and then it dips down. So I'll set this one together with the bombers and the Smithwicks. That will make a nice lot for somebody. This one will be particularly good for bass. So again, anytime you see the green back, those are the imitations, chubs, and chubs make wonderful lures for bass, especially for the smallmouth. Now here is a suspending glitter storm in the Fire Tiger pattern. Now storm has always been a little bit cheaper alternative to using the expensive Rapalas. When they end up in my bucket, somebody lost them. It doesn't really matter how much they cost originally. It matters what people are willing to spend for them when they're used. And you have to remember that once you take it out of the package, it's already a used lure, so you kind of have to give up on the idea of the money you spent originally. So that's a beautiful lure, a little glittery. Those of you who have a little gypsy in here, that'd be an interesting one to try. I'll take that extra out of here and I'll set the storm right next to it. A good way to consider lures is to learn basically the signature eyes the different companies use. So once you know those, it's kind of easy to recognize the different models and brands. There is a gold black Husky Jerk. This one is a size 12. I like casting these this time of year when it gets cold, when the water drops between 45 and 50, and you have the walleyes moving in the evening closer to the shallow areas. I've had some great action 80s that are close to reverse current. Again, you let the lure drift, the suspending action will get you there, and then once you feel that you went above and beyond the spot where you want to expect your strike zone, you start jerking it in. That rattle is going to bring them in, and the stop and go motion will trigger the hit. So there's another size 12 Husky Jerk. Beautiful perch pattern, size 11. Now this one is the original Floating Rapala. We all know how effective these are. Now these, when you have a current break, usually closer to the current break, you will find your smallest. They'll be the ones that will be braving those currents, and they'll be shooting out and smacking the minnows around. Then you want to cast one of these and you get your action this way. The perch pattern, we haven't had great years for perch, specifically on the Wisconsin Dells Dam area. But this time of year, we get a lot of them moving in the shallows, and the size is not really significant. You'll find a lot of them that will be around 5 to 6 inches. So traditionally not the best pan fish to get here. Sometimes you'll get those 10, 11 inches when you're fishing walleyes, and these you can really get. But as far as keeping panfish, I'd say on our stretch of river, crappie is the best one to target because they're pretty abundant and the size gets up to the foot long to 13 inches, sometimes 14 inches. Now the 14 inches probably best to release because that's a good gene pool you want to keep in the system, not in your frying pan. And going back to the perch, well, when you do realize that people are catching those little perch and they're starting to kind of nag, why, what is this small fish, why am I catching that? That's when you want to put the perch pattern, start casting, and you'll be getting those fat pike and big walleyes because that's the best forage for them. They specifically like eating these. They're not only tasty to us, fish like that too. And I think they've discovered that before us, centuries and millennia before us. Let's see what else is in the bag. Getting close to the bottom of it. Out of 56 lures, I have a lot to show. So beautiful, old school Finland jointed Rapala in the silver black. These are made of balsa. They're hand tuned. The wiggle of the wounded minnow action is specifically guaranteed right out of the box. There's a nice big one, size 13, silver black jointed Rapala. Now this one, I would say you'll get more teeth marks on it by Pike than you would walleye, but I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong if you're a walleye fisherman like I am. I would love to get those trophy walleyes to keep when I'm casting for the muskie and Pike, but I would be hoping for a SX species when I'm casting one of these. I wouldn't expect to catch a walleye, but that's when you get your best surprises, right? So there's a nice jointed one. These plates are perch floater. Put the floater down here on the little pile. And okay. And let's go back to the bag. Another practical made Fire Tiger Rebel minnow. So far I'm looking at 5 little nice lots of them. And in my hand here I have Husky Jerks, 4 of them. Let's see, I have a size 14 silver blue. Again, very traditional, very successful, effective pattern on our stretch of river. Fire Tiger, gone blind. See how the ice is being scraped off by the rocks. Beautiful rock passes we work here on the Wisconsin River. I will bite more than anything when you're casting these, but one thing you have to realize, you have to realize that you're borrowing your bait from the river when you cast it in it. It's no longer your responsibility out in the water, all bets are off. So you never know, it might be a huge sturgeon you snag and you never see your lure again. it might be that big muskie that takes it in and goes. That's why it's good to use those wire leaders so you don't allow for those lures to actually injure the fish long term. I mean, screw the bait, you'll kill a fish, and a lot of those fish have lived way longer than the lures work. So, beautiful fire tiger, traditional, original pattern. Uh, the ones that do suspend, the ones that do kill both in fresh and salt water. I've had tremendous success with these down in Florida, doing my own inshore fishing. When the tide is up and you cast these close to cover, you get tremendous action with snook, which to me is pretty much the alternative to us Midwesterners going down to Florida and still wanting to experience the walleye thrill. Now, a snook is like a walleye on steroids. It's a big mix, if you will. The emotion is more like a strong pike hit, tremendous trout fight, and then the body reminds of a walleye. Although I see a lot of people whipping them like they do bass, I wouldn't do that. I don't want that job to be scraping on my thumb. That's not the best bass thumb to get. Beautiful silver plated size 14 clown husky jerk. Traditionally clown pattern, fire tiger, and silver blue, probably the three top producing colors on our stretchy river. And one more, size 14 silver plated bite ridden suspending lure with a nice loud rattle. Again, it attracts fish. So the biggest pile that I'll show you in a moment, obviously, is the husky jerks. Of those, I seem to have a good selection. I will get all of the jointed ones together. I'll show them to you guys once again. There is a pair right here. So, two jointed ones. Now the one with the broken lip, that traditionally would be the sinking version of the jointed Rapala. Hope I'm not mistaken, but I think that's what it signifies. And again, the jointed lip also, the jointed with the broken lip also signifies that it's Finland made, which makes it even more valuable. So, two of these guys, a size 11 and a size 13, and these guys, fire tiger and gold fluorescent orange in size 11. These are going back to the bag. So this is a lot of 4 lures. I'm gonna grab the Rebel minnows. Looks like I have a nice little bundle of the same size. Whoever lost these was pretty persistent about casting in the same spot, and they look pretty new. I'm not gonna be surprised if they actually were dumped from a tackle box and never retrieved because they float, so the current took them away. And so there's a lot of 5 of these. Then I'll be going to this one. Now this one has seen better days. It's pretty beat up. The lip is broken. It's been bitten many times. It's been knocked against rocks. Still, you can do whatever offer you want on it. I'll set it right there in the bag. And then X-Wrap. This one is a X-Wrap size 10. Beautiful lure. Those new in the box are about 12 to 13 bucks in the store. So you go figure how much it costs to you. Let's see these. I'll put these together. So fire tiger patterns. Baggy in a storm. Right here. Couple of bombers. Bomber long 8. There's a Smithwick Floating Rogue with a loud rattle, and there's a couple more shad and jab imitations. We're going back in the bag. Let's go to original floaters. Oh, there's one more rebel that I forgot. So this one can go together with the fire tigers. So there's a lot of 6 there, half a dozen. This one is by itself. It was to be the Magnum X-Wrap, the saltwater version without the flash. So that's a great lure if you're targeting big fish. Those sell for about 16 bucks on the website. Couple of Fire Tiger original floaters, different pattern, so you can put those together in a lot. There's a size 11 and a size 13 above. Then there's the big original floater. That's a $14 lure if it's new, and if it wasn't discontinued, good luck finding that one. Those are the ones that I was talking about earlier, the ones that are made in Ireland. You can't find these anymore. They make them in Estonia. Nothing against Estonians, but the quality is a little different. Right here, we have a nice little set of size 11s. So there's a bleeding pattern, there's a silver blue, and there's a perch. And this one is by itself. It's the very original Finland silver black. Again, discontinued collectible lure. Make it what you wish. That's why we call it cherry picking. If you want to say what it's worth to you, if you're interested, leave me a message, let me know. If you're not, it will go on eBay and we'll rake whatever it rakes. And the last file, the most popular lures on our stretch of the river, Husky Jerks. There's tons of these, so I'll go first with the most popular, and that would be the Fire Tiger. I will just group them by size and color, and we'll go from there. And let's see what we got here. So most of these are size 14s. There's a few 12s. Alright, so size 14 in the traditional Ireland pattern, the ones that do suspend, ones that do perform like they're meant to. I got 4 of these up here, and one of the newer ones, the ones that are a little bit more on the floating side, still do have the same action. The rattle still works, and it looks newer. Now how productive it is, so you judge for yourself. I do prefer the original ones, the older ones. So there's 5 of those, and these are all size 14 trophy size. Set them right back in the bag. There is 3 of the size 12s, 1 of the original kind, the ones that I prefer, Ireland, 2 Estonian made. There's a set of 3 of those. Then we go to clown. Now in the clown I have two size 14s, silver plated, pretty beaten up, super effective lures, suspending action, jerking motion with the rattles. two of the glass patterns. They look better to the fisherman. They're the newer one. Again, as far as how effective, you be the judge. Going back to the silver blue, so far I have 3, 4. Oh, one more clown. What do you know? So there's 3 of these, 3 of the size 14. And silver blue, I will have 3 in the size 12. And 2 in size 14. Gold black, 2 of them. And there is a 12 on the top and a 14 on the bottom. So 7 of those. And 2 of the best performing one is size 10, which is the 4-inch. Size 12. So before this bag goes on eBay, the cherry picking will allow you to choose what you want. Again, rewind, pause wherever you feel you need to look at them better. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be available to answer them. Good luck. Have a great time fishing, and thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/LyubakaTV, and also our fishing report is at bit.ly/Del's Fishing. The D and Del's and the F in fishing are capital. Thank you very much.